See, now this is a lot more relaxing. Like, I just got back from eating Mexican out with some coworkers, and I had a couple margaritas, and I feel really good right now. So, I decided the best time would be to narrate about it right now. Yeah. So, this is a RU battle versus a guy named Smashbr0spro33. He mentioned me on Skype, which will be in the description added if you ever want to battle. He said, "Are you?" So looking at his team, he's got Stilix, Sceptile, Gallade, Lantern, Entei, and Mandibuzz. Right. So Stilix is awfully usually the defensive wall. Sceptile could be, Spec, Scarf. Uses special. Gallade, some kind of sword stance, maybe bulk up. Lantern, just volt switch. Entei can do a howl or something like that. I forget what Entei does, but he fair blitzes stuff. And Mandibuzz is usually there to taunt things and, just be a wall in general. So it's not looking too bad on my part. Like Entei can have the possibility of giving me trouble. I just have to make sure I am aware that I don't need to let it set up or anything like that. I am just going to start off with my Uxie because it has U-turn, it has Stealth Rocks. If I don't like the situation, I U-turn out. If it's okay, I have Stealth Rock. He's going to start off with Stilix. And I figured that we both would exchange Stealth Rocks at this time, but I give him Stealth Rocks, he gives me a curse. I'm like, well, I don't like that at all. So I'm just actually going to U-turn out. No, I'm going to outspeed because, curse, lower speed. I don't have to take that. And go into something more appropriate because I figured he would just curse up again, knowing that I would have to switch out, not having much to go against a cursing Stilix. But if you actually notice that he doesn't have leftovers, so that tells me that he's either... No, that pretty much tells me he's Life Orb. So he's more likely a Shield Force Life Orb Stilix, which that could be a problem. Like, what do you switch on and switch into that? Like, Nidoqueen is super effective if he uses Earthquake, and is neutral if he uses a Steel move. So I went into Sceptile to scare him out, and then he goes straight to Mandibuzz, which is a good switch on this part. I'm just going to Giga Drain just to get some damage on whenever it's going to come in. And then I go to Nidoqueen expecting maybe a Brave Bird or a Taunt or something. And I can just go from there. But he actually switches out and goes into Sceptile, protecting my Nidoqueen. So I'm going to go to Bouffalant. Excuse me, man. Just don't need to narrate right after you go eat. So I'm going to go to Bouffalant expecting the grass move, but he shows me the substitute. And now I need to stay in because I don't know what he's going to do. If he wants to, Leech Seed, it won't hurt Bouffalant. I get the Sap Sipper, and I can break the sub. But he actually goes to Focus Blast, which brings me down pretty low. Now here, I decided to have an MLG moment and predict the Focus Miss. And it actually happened. But, unfortunately, I failed to follow through with that with the Mega Horn because I ended up missing that too. And that turn was pretty much useless because nothing went down. So I'm going to switch out knowing that he's probably going to Focus Blast again. Even if he does decide to sub, I can just break the sub with the U-turn from Uxie if it's strong enough. Because Sceptile is not that bulky, so it should do the job. But I do go into Uxie, it takes the Focus Blast pretty well. And I'm just going to U-turn because I expect him to go for Leech Seed, go for Giga Drain, something to hurt me. But he actually goes for the sub. He could have switched out, but he didn't. And actually, this is pretty safe because he's faster than me, and the sub can scout and see what I was going to do. Lucky enough, the U-turn is strong enough to break the sub. Unfortunately for me, I don't have anything that's faster than this Sceptile because I don't have any Scar Pokemon. So I know my Sceptile is not going to be faster because I do have HP Rock, and that does require a 30 speed IV, and yeah, that makes me slower. So we both end up missing Focus Blasts, and it just turns completely useless. So I switch out again to Uxie just to get the momentum back in my favor by U-turning out to something. He's actually going to switch into his Lantern? Yes, Lantern. I'm like, okay, more than likely he's a bulky Lantern. I can go into Hitmonchan. It has decent special bulk. That's not, I just left with Uxie. Usually I would just go into that, but it has decent special bulk. I got Drain Punch. It can be a 2 or 3 hit KO depending on what he's running. I noticed it did a hefty amount, more than I really thought it would do. But he shows me Hydro Pump, showing that he mostly has a offensive spread and a defensive spread like I'm running, and that's okay. But unfortunately, again, I'm gonna stop using that word. He's gonna knock me down to where the next move is gonna KO me. I was hoping Drain Punch would give me more HP and I wouldn't die, but it didn't work. It did not work. It did not. So we're both going to go blind switches. Usually you're supposed to go into your faster Pokemon or your Scarf Pokemon or your lead Pokemon if you still had it. But I went into Nidoqueen, which is not either any of those options. And he goes in his Galley. He's going to set up the sub, showing me that he is a setup also. This is the second setup Pokemon, and this was the bulk up. And I'm like, okay, I got my Toxic Spikes. I'm just going to roll them out. Hopefully I can roll them out into something that's going to take Toxic Spikes. Now, I do roll them out into Mandibuzz, which it's not too bad. It's not going to do anything to me. If it Brave Birds, that'll do some damage, but I can just Ice Beam. And I thought he would actually expect that. Knowing that he was faster, he would just roost so the Ice Beam wouldn't do much, and then he would taunt, predicting me to like, oh, okay, he's going to either switch out or do something like that. But he just goes straight for taunt, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Let me go on Lantern, both switch out, probably, try to scare him out, but he actually goes to Whirlwind on my switch to Lantern and then rolls me out to Bouffalon. I'm like, okay, I take this. I have Stone Edge, and anything he wants to switch in other than Steelix would take him out from Stone Edge because this is Bandit. And he decided to stay in, probably not knowing what I had, and learned that the hard way that I'm Bandit. So now he's going to go to Entei. I don't want to give this Entei a free move, so I'm going to stay in and Stone Edge again if he wants to set up a sub or something like that. I can break it if he wants to try to set up. I could take him out with a Stone Edge, but he just goes straight for the Flamethrower, actually giving me more information that he is a special variant, more than likely with Calm Mind. So this is the third Pokemon he has to set up on me. And that's the thing about RU, is like almost most of the Pokemon on teams are like ready to set up, and it's crazy. So I go into Lantern expecting to scare him out with Skull, but he actually just goes for the HP Grass, which I thought was kind of weird. But he probably expected it to do more, maybe more offensive set than mine is, since I have Nidoqueen and Uxie. That my Lantern will be a more offensive set, but I run the tanking set with Volt Switch, and I do go for the Volt Switch because, like I said, I was expecting him to switch anything but Steelix, because that's not a good switch in on the Lantern. And he decides to stay in HP Grass, take damage. Okay, I go to Uxie. Uxie's my special wall. Even he set up a couple of Calm Minds, I'm not able to take that. I'm just gonna fire off Psychics. So between Psychics and the Toxic, sorry, not Toxic, between Psychics and the poison damage, it's gonna whittle him down to nothing, and that would be a good game. So not a good game, but good game. Entei. But I'm sorry, it's been a while since I narrated a Wi-Fi battle, and it's going a lot slower than PO and Showdown. I'm so used to trying to keep up with those that it's hard to be in front of this, because it goes a lot slower. Anyway, I finally take out the Entei, and I have decent enough health, so I'm liking that. That was a good exchange for me. He's going to come out with Steelix. I expect him, kind of half expecting him to go for Curse again, trying to set up, but he actually goes straight for the Iron Tail. I figured if I'm going to go on anything, it would probably be Nidoqueen, just because it is my physical wall. But yeah, it takes a lot from that Iron Tail, knowing that Earthquake is going to take me out next time if he gets a chance to take it out. If he gets a chance to use it, I was hoping Earth Power would be enough, but it leaves him with a smidgen, and since he decided to use Earthquake over Iron Tail, he actually takes Life Orb damage. So that was confirmation that it was a Life Orb, Sheer Force Steelix, and dude, you are cool for using one. I haven't seen many people use it, and I have an affinity for Steelix, if you knew me back in the day. So I'm gonna go into my Sceptile. He has his Sceptile, and this is his last Pokemon. No, it's not. No, I'm lying. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's just Sceptile on Sceptile action. Usually you can only find this on the AMC American Movie Channel, National Geographic, but I bring you here today because this is what my channel is about. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, I'm having a problem. Yeah, I locked myself in the Focus Blast because I am Choke Specs, and he decides to sub up. And instead of risking him getting a free sub and me missing Focus Blast, I decided to switch out. But he actually, since he's faster, he switched out first. He goes in the Gallade, and I'm going to go into Uxie. Once again, Uxie, all he has to do is just Psychic, and between Psychic and the poison, the poison damage, it's just gonna whittle him down. So, because I resist both his Psychic stab and his Fighting stab, so if he wants to play that game, he could. But in the longer run, I'm gonna end up winning. So, because that's why entry hatches are so important. I'm sorry, I'm tripping up a little bit, trying to get this reader out of my system. Yeah. So entry hazards are so vital sometimes, especially when it's Pokemon with setup and moves and stuff like that, because you need that extra damage. You need that push to make them keep being offensive. They can't sit here and buck up the whole time because he's poison and I'm hitting him. So like, it really helps. And the fact that he doesn't have any entry hazards on his team hurted him a lot, because if he had Steph Rocks or something, Bufalot would probably not have did as much, and you know, I just couldn't switch out as much as I did. It put me more on the timer, but you know, that's just the way it goes. So eventually I did take out that Gallade with some psychics and combination of psychics and the poison damage, and now the only thing he has left is the Sceptile. I have Uxie, my Sceptile, in Lantern. Lantern is not going to do anything. This Sceptile is going to have speed, Giga Drain, and probably take me out one hit. If not, it's just going to do the next hit, because all I got is Scald and Volt Switch. I can't Toxic Kick because it's always Toxic, and I don't remember what my fourth move is. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I am willing this thing down a little, but it's because it's a poison damage and not the toxic damage. It's not racking up, and that's what's hurting me right now. This thing would have already been dead if it was the other way around, but it's okay. It's okay. I have the Sceptile. I can live a Focus Blast, and I can finish it off in style with a Leaf Storm, right? Because that is the way we do it. Except I don't, because I miss, and that's an issue. Because if he hits another one and I miss again, I lose. I possibly lose, because he's in the overgrow range. So this Giga Drain is going to do a lot more than usual, and yeah. So I want to hit him with an overgrow Specs Leaf Storm. Can we get that, please? Thank you, Sceptile. You are, you know, #1 in my heart. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's going to be it for his Sceptile, and that's going to be it for his team. So that was a good game, Smashbr0spro33. Sorry if I keep messing that up. I really enjoyed the RU match, and feel free to contact me on Skype. I will more than likely, if I'm there. Most of the time I'm there at night because I work during the daytime, but I mean, hit me up if you want to battle, PO, Showdown, Wi-Fi, let me know. And yeah, check out my Facebook page. I'd like to get more friends. I mean, because if it's not on Facebook, then it's not official. And speaking of official, black screen, that means I gotta stop talking. So stay classy, YouTube. I am out. See you next video. Yeah.